Hello and welcome to All About Footy, episode 4. The last episode was an outlier. Celso was there, but today we're joined again by Daniel, so thank you, Daniel, for coming in.
No worries.
And we are going to talk about this last window that Team Canada's men team just had. So, for those of you who have been living under a rock, we got all 9 points. Man, and if you guys remember what I said in the first episode, I said I'd be okay with 5, I'd be pretty sad with 6, I'd be happy with 7 and ecstatic with 9, something along those lines. Because like 6, I thought, I'm like, okay, we beat El Salvador, Honduras, and lose to the States, and that would have been just horrible. We'd still be in first. No, we would have been behind the U.S. and Mexico at that point, so we'd be in third. But yeah, we don't have to worry about that because we're in first, man. Mm-hmm. We're in first with 25 points. Mathematically, we're not mathematically clinched, I guess. But like Vegas odds and all that kind of stuff, even before the El Salvador game, had Canada's odds of making and qualifying for the World Cup at 99.6.
Yeah.
That has to go up to 99.99. Mathematically speaking, the magic number is 2.
Yeah.
With goal differential likely just 1. But mathematically speaking, the magic number for Canada right now is 2.
Yeah.
So Canada would have to lose every single game, and Panama and Costa Rica are both going to have to win every single game.
Both of those, or Panama and Costa Rica, both have to play the States and Canada, each of them.
Yeah. Oh, and Mexico needs to also win 2, and U.S. needs to win 2. All of that needs to happen in order for Canada to not qualify. And Canada, again, has to lose every single game. So, I mean, Herdman's mentality the whole time is like, hey, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Just like, keep on playing. Like, we have our toe on the line. We're not crossed it yet. But, man. So, we're going to start with Honduras. The first game, Thursday, January 27th, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
Man, what a game. You start with an own goal in like
10th minute.
In the 10th minute. Yeah, and it wasn't even like a terrible own goal. It was a beautiful move by Buchanan to get in there, crosses it in, goes off the defender's face because he tried to head it out of the way, but it just went off his face and in the net. Awesome goal, man. Like, they're not all pretty by any means. They're not. But that was an awesome start.
They're really not all pretty.
No.
Especially El Salvador.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to El Salvador later, but the Honduras one. And, like, Honduras was pressing most game, man. Like, I thought Honduras played a really good game. And if I'm going to be honest, like, I don't want to sound like a jerk in saying this or, like, overcritical or anything, but, like, Honduras wasn't Canada's best game. But the fact that they still came out with a 2-0 win, the second goal came, I forget when the second goal came, but it was from Jonathan David in the second half.
Yeah, like
70 something? Yeah. Gorgeous pass by Fraser. Gorgeous pass, man. That is a very difficult pass. But even more beautiful touch by David to take it down, go on the breakaway, and finish. My God, this team is so talented, man.
Yeah, we're making some progress here.
And
he's doing good.
So that was a huge win because we haven't won in Honduras in over 30 some years, man.
It's been as long as we haven't been to the World Cup. So
yeah. It's for those who haven't been following the national program for that long, like, we played Honduras in a play-in and not last World Cup or the one prior, I think, just to get into the last group, and we lost
8-1.
I think it was like 1-0 at home and 7-1 away in Honduras.
Yeah, so we lost 8-1.
We got absolutely manhandled the last time we played in Honduras.
Yeah.
And to come out with a 2-0 win with a performance that I would say, like, it wasn't our best, but it also wasn't the worst. Right?
We also got to keep in mind that Honduras weren't able to have the atmosphere they would want to have.
That's true. It was a tough atmosphere for Honduras because they didn't have all the fans there. They had some, but they didn't have many.
I think they only had like 5,000 fans.
Yeah, that was barely anything.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right because that's a big difference. That's a very, very big difference. The Central American and South American fans make an atmosphere very difficult for opposing teams.
Yeah, Canada didn't get anything thrown at them when they were taking corners. They usually should have.
Honduras is in last, but like, they all still had a chance. Like, when they played Canada, mathematically, they still had a legitimate chance at qualifying in the 4th seed. But with Honduras' loss to Canada in the first game, it pretty much cemented them in last place. Yeah. Like, it actually mathematically took them out of passing Canada. Canada just automatically was like, hey, we beat Honduras, so now we can't finish below Honduras.
Yep.
Which was huge. And the game was, like I said, it wasn't our best game, but they came when we had to. But I think the biggest moment of that game, so I'm going to look into in this episode, I'm going to ask you for the man of the match of each game. So think about this quickly. But I'll tell you mine first because I threw this at you last second. But for me, the biggest moment of that game wasn't either of the two goals. It was Milan Borjan's save at 1-0 up. And, like, that was a monster of a save. Gorgeous header in.
He made 2 saves, yeah.
He made 2 saves. One to keep it at 1-0, one to keep it at 2-0. Yeah. Right? So the 1-0 save, he just extended the perfect positioning off that corner. Yeah. That header could have been a little bit better, but that's not to take anything away from how massive of a save that was.
It was still it was just a better save.
Milan Borjan, like, kept Canada in it. Because if that game is 1-0 or 1-1, Honduras comes back. Very likely.
Yeah, because they were on the front foot in that part.
Yeah, they were going forward, and then it wasn't even like minutes later is when we scored the 2-0 goal to break the back. You know,
like Borjan's save came in the 70th minute, and we scored the 73rd. So
yeah,
really
it's single, like it was huge, and like he had a couple of like bigger saves that game, like in the 90th minute around there, 90th minute. Yep. He had another monster save, big diving save as well, and he kept it out. And kept it at 2-0.
Yeah.
For me, Milan Borjan, although Jonathan David's goal was spectacular, Milan Borjan for me was the man of the match of that game.
Yeah. To not agree with you, because I would say Borjan too. I'm just going to take Jonathan David. That goal was
spectacular.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's only a few people in the world that could do that goal.
Yeah.
Take the ball like that and the retouches be half the field gone.
Yeah, his acceleration is elite, world class. His finishing, and
his finishing is elite. It's not world class yet, but
his finishing is elite. It's not world class. You're absolutely right. And that's one thing I also wanted to mention too. Like, yeah, he had a pretty good game, but he also had some really bad misses. Like, he had a couple of chances where he could have, like, Canada could have easily been up 3 or 4-0 in that game early.
Yeah.
But it was just. One of them, it was a 2-0. They didn't even get a shot on net somehow. They had like 4 odd man breaks, and then they just got one shot out of it, and the Honduras goalie didn't have to do too much. Yeah, but that last goal, there was no chance. But yeah, the whole lineup was good. That game, Atiba Hutchinson got a card at the end of the game and got suspended for the following game against the States. And now that brings us to Hamilton, the ice cap.
Oh,
that's what they called Hamilton, right? Tim Hortons Field, the ice cap. And the 7th minute, 6 minutes and 10 seconds in, so 7th minute goal by Kyle Larin. I mean, what a beautiful give and go between Larin and David. First off,
yeah, it was very.
Kamal Miller stepping up to the header and just placing it perfectly into Osorio's feet. Mm-hmm. Also, sorry, I forgot to mention, we were also missing both Davies and Eustachio for Honduras and the States.
Yeah.
Davies is our best player, and Eustachio, I would argue, is our best midfielder.
Yep.
Atiba Hutchinson is probably the second best midfielder we have. So we were down our 2 best midfielders for the United States game. Plus,
we had Lorea playing in midfield.
Well, he was a winger, right? Not like center mid. He was playing wing. We had Mark Anthony Kay, who did not have a very good game. No. And then we had Kennedy. No, Kennedy was not playing that game.
Buchanan was on the midfield too.
Yeah.
It was our midfielder was Lorea, Kay, and Buchanan.
Yeah, so it was a mid-3 that they were kind of playing with the top. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. But, and then without Eustachio and Davies, that was a tough loss.
Yeah.
And then the second game without Eustachio, Davies, and Hutchinson, that's another tough loss. And Piet got injured pretty bad in the first. Like, there should have been a red in the first one. I'll be honest. In the first match, it should have definitely been a red. El Salvador game, there should have been 2 reds. There should have been a penalty against Canada too. Buchanan definitely took him out in the box. Yeah, but before that, there should have been 2 reds. Anyways, we'll get there later. Also, I would like to point out the Mexican officiating in the U.S. game. I think it was a Mexican ref.
Yeah.
Elite. Unbelievable. I'm the first to insult referees. It's the first one. And the officiating in that game was spectacular. Fair on both sides. He let play go on consistently, but any outrageous, egregious fouls he called. And I loved that. That is exactly how a match should be officialed. Exactly what that official did in the Canada-US match. That is world-class officiating. So, ref, if you're listening to this, unreal job. And I don't say that very often. Okay, anyways, back to the goal. So it was pretty windy at that point, so the ball got caught up in the air. And then, but good on Miller for like noticing that, going up, heading it up to Osorio. And Osorio is taking it, turns around. Nice pass to Laren, one touch to David, one touch back to Laren, all by himself.
Those two
goes in.
The connection between those two is
so good right now. So good. And people were nervous about how the connection was going to be. Hey,
yeah.
Do you remember that? That was like the biggest talk. Like, how are they going to work together?
They started together.
I'm pretty sure that the game against Honduras was the first time they both started a game together.
Yeah.
As a 1-2 punch. Because Davies usually would start with David on top.
Yeah.
Almost always it would be Davies and David Laren would come in as a sub, or sometimes if David got the night off, it'd be Davies.
Yeah.
But that allows Davies to now do his lethal thing up and down the wing, which is his better position anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then the goal was beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't say it was poor goaltending on the American spot, but it kind of was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I hate being critical of goaltenders because
you just expect more from that goalie.
You would expect more from there. You're absolutely right. I do not disagree with you whatsoever. That definitely should have been a save. It wasn't placed exactly in the corner, and it wasn't. He slipped.
Yeah.
He legitimately slipped. Yeah. But if he had better body positioning, with better body positioning, that wouldn't have gone in. But don't take it away from Laren though. He saw that and he still shot it, and he didn't miss the net, so that was a big deal. Yeah. And then the rest of the game, the U.S. was pressing, man. And, like, they kept on getting chance after chance, but, like, Milan Borjan finished with one save, and it was a spectacular save.
Yeah, I was like, Borjan is, I think, the most underrated keeper in CONCACAF.
100%.
Like, the goalie, the American goalie, he plays for Arsenal now.
Yeah.
Like, Borjan out-dueled an Arsenal keeper, like a keeper from Arsenal.
Yeah, a Premier League goalie. Premier League keeper. Sorry, that's what we call him. He won't
start for Arsenal, but he's their backup now. So,
yeah.
Like,
Borjan's definitely underrated. I absolutely agree. And our defense was a little underrated as well. Yeah. We don't have any big names on our defense, especially like center backs, but they played pretty well. There was a couple like strategic fouls that had to be taken. Like Vittoria took one that made him unavailable for El Salvador, unfortunately. But like the defense cracked, but they never broke. You know what I mean? And they ended up making some big blocks and big defensive plays. The U.S. could have done a lot better job at like a couple of their finishing. Like they try to be too cute with the ball sometimes, but let's not take anything away from the Canadian team. Like they started off really strong, they defended really well, and then like it should have probably finished 1-0. Except my man of the match for this game, Sam. Okay, fine. You can. No, you go.
It's fine. You can take it.
Okay, Sam Adekugbe from Edmonton, Alberta.
Calgary, Alberta.
No, we're taking him in Edmonton. I don't care if he's from Calgary. He says he's an Edmonton boy, man. He says it himself.
Okay, fine. Edmonton.
Anyways, Sam Adekugbe was my man of the match. Yeah. What a performance by that guy. Like, can you believe that like this time last year he wasn't even like being considered a part of the roster?
Yeah. And he's in the prime of his career too. He's 27 now too. So.
And he's playing he's playing out in Turkey, which is pretty decent. Like
he's in a mid-tier team in Turkey, but he'll get moved real quick soon.
Yeah.
Pick up soon.
Just his performance is out here. I agree. And like Jonathan David's performance is out here too. Is like he's going to go to a top flight team soon too. Mm-hmm. There's no question about that in my mind right now. Like it's huge. Huge. Eustachio moving out to Porto. Like there's just Canadian players are starting to get recognition that they deserve. And it's just so nice. But anyways, and then, yeah, the Adekugbe goal was insane, incredible. I think the best part of the first two games, Alphonso Davies on Twitch. That was hilarious.
I was going to say that my man of the match is Alphonso Davies.
Yeah.
But Davies on Twitch was hilarious. He was He was something else on Twitch. He was
So
really
funny, man. He's so funny. But you know who maybe another man of the match consideration could be?
Alistair Johnston.
He played pretty well that game. Yeah, he kept Pulisic in his pocket the whole game.
Johnston has honestly been one of the most consistent in our defense.
I agree.
Consistent performance.
You know what they do really well though too is like Johnston got beat once or twice that game. I don't think it was his best performance, but he got beat once or twice. But whoever the center back was beside him, whether it was Vittoria or Miller on the other side,
Miller, yeah.
Like they both came back and supported. It was always like a next man up mentality in the defense kind of thing, and like that's what kept the ball out of the net the whole time.
Yeah.
That and Milan Borjan's a monster.
Yeah, Borjan is stupid good.
Monster save in the 43rd minute, I think. 44th.
Sad, but
no, he's still playing. If we qualify, he's still playing in the World Cup.
Yeah,
so,
but he's older, so it's sad.
Yeah, but we got some pretty good goalies coming up too. Crepeau is going to be a good goalie.
Yeah.
And
but I think the best part of that game is Borjan's interview afterwards.
Yeah.
And he started getting emotional about Canada, what it means to him to bring us a World Cup.
It's just so nice to see, hey?
Or at least a World Cup appearance.
Like, such pride in representing a country.
And he didn't even come. He didn't, like, he's not like Davies that came when he was like 3 or 4. He came when, like, Borjan came when he was 13.
Yeah.
Like, Borjan came old.
Yeah, and he's just so proud to represent the country. There was a bunch of really good quotes. Like, you should be able to see it. It's on YouTube. Just has, like, look at a post-match USA interview or media availability. Because my two favorite quotes, like, yeah, he's like, man, talking about the pride he has in representing Canada. He's like, your Canada welcomed me in, me and my family in. The least I can do is help him bring him to a World Cup.
Yeah.
One. And the other one, probably my favorite quote of the entire window. Hey, Milan, what can you say is different? Like, what has changed in this men's national team to where you're now, like, playing well and, like, relevant in the world stage? 2 words. John Herdman. That's it.
Yeah. That's true. Like, look what he did with the women's national team. He put them on the map. He started the process for the gold medal that we got, and then now in the men's, he's done it again. Like, Herdman is so good.
I said it jokingly, but now I'm saying it legitimately. John Herdman deserves, like, a city named after him in this country.
He does.
Like give him the Order of Canada, knight him. We're still part of the Commonwealth, right? Like, just knight him. I don't give a damn. Everything you can possibly do for John Herdman needs to be done, because this man, what he has done for this country, and let's not take away from the Hutchinsons, the Sinclairs of the world, the Davies, let's not take away from them, because they're individually, they've worked their rear ends off. Even Dwayne De Rosario and that, like, all of these people have worked so hard in it. But John Herdman took us to a new level.
Yeah.
And really has brought some form and instilled this belief in the Canadian national programs that, you know what, we're not just here to play, we're here to compete, and not just to be 11 bodies on the pitch. Anyways, yeah, John Herdman instilled this belief in the country, and it's just incredible, and the players feel it. It's a brotherhood, genuine love of each other. It's just something to really admire.
Yeah, and after that after the game against the States, Canada went up to 36th in the world now. So I don't know about now.
I looked at the website, and it's projecting Canada to be approximately 33 to 34 around there.
Yeah.
3 wins, 2 of them away. That's huge. Huge.
That's the new best for Canada too.
Yeah. No team has ever won 6 games in a row in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. Canada's the first to ever do that. They've now won 6 in a row.
Oh yeah, we did.
Started Panama 4-1.
Yeah.
And then Costa Rica 1-0, Mexico 2-1, Honduras, USA, and now our final game, El Salvador 2-0. So the El Salvador game I thought was going to be the toughest one.
Goal of the tournament in that game. Tiba Hutchinson.
100%.
Goal of the year.
Goal of the year.
Sorry,
There's no question.
David. Hutchinson scored the best goal ever. I'm just saying, if Hutchinson's not balled, that ball's not going in.
Right? Yeah, because you have to get the spin from his shaved head. Yeah. That's such a funny goal. I had no idea. But did you actually know that the game was honestly probably almost not going to go through? Like there was like El Salvador was
Yeah.
protesting the game prior to
Yeah,
it,
they were.
and they said they weren't going to play.
A lot of other players didn't want to play. They were
Yeah.
protesting.
That was a dirty game, hey.
Yeah,
That was so many cleat up tackles. The ref called nothing. The Mexican ref at the U.S. Canada game. That's who I'm referring. He was exceptional.
Yeah. Then this ref.
This American ref was a piece of garbage.
But at least he was bad for both sides.
He was bad for both sides. You're absolutely right, because he could have easily called that penalty against Buchanan.
And then Achiva wouldn't scored his goal.
Yeah.
Which is, again, the stupidest goal I've seen in my life.
It was so funny, dude. So funny. Oh my god, what a goal! Just goes. Nobody knew it was in, and I'm pretty sure the linesman called it offside, but then the ref just waved it off. He's like, no, that's not offside.
No, the linesman called it goal kick. He thought it went out.
Oh.
And the ref said, no, it's goal.
Hilarious. Yeah, it was just so brutal. I'm so glad it went in. I'm so glad it counted.
Like, I think Larry crossed it in. Like, first of all, good on him staying up.
Yeah.
Staying on his feet. He got tackled. Good on him to stay on his feet. He put it across, and then from what I think I saw, it hit the post or hit like Hudson.
No. So what happened is it crossed in, and then it hits
the defender.
Maybe
right?
Yeah, it went off the post. I think you're right. Off post, then defender, and then Hutchinson's neck or head
or back, then head.
Back
rolls onto
head
his back,
rolls
off his
over
head.
top of the goalie, and then it goes in somehow.
And because of the spin, his head gave the ball because it rolled up on his head. The goalie tried to palm it out on the goal line, but this ball just span away from him when it landed because of Achiva Hutchinson's head.
Yeah, if Hutchinson wasn't bald, that ball would not have spun around that way, and that would not have been a goal. No. Good for him, man. Maybe more people should be bald when playing soccer now.
Yeah.
What an awesome... I had no idea it went in.
I was confused the whole time watching it. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, right? And then Jonathan David's goal just cemented in the end.
Yeah, that was a good goal. Like, nothing special. Like, it was a good chip. It wasn't like his first goal, but it was just a solid goal.
I think it showed his level of maturity and his patience, though, because he got 10 feet of separation from them at one point, and then he slowed it down to really make sure he did it right. And then the goalie came up, and it's just clinical finishing by him, really. But that was a dirty game. I'm impressed that more of our guys didn't get injured that game, because El Salvador was filthy.
The one criticism I have is that Buchanan should have shot more. Like that, he just kept trying to dribble through the whole team. Yeah, not even Davies can do that.
No, but
he's not
also looking at
Alfonso Davies,
right? But looking at Buchanan's perspective, I'm like, he's a direct 1-for-1 replacement for Davies on this lineup. If we're gonna be honest, no one's as good as Davies in this team. Hell, in this world, no one's as good as Davies. But Buchanan sees him as himself as a replacement, and technically he is. He's a winger, and he directly took Davies' spot in the lineup. Yeah, right.
He still needs to shoot more.
You're absolutely right, and he needs to play his game. His game is to deke and then shoot. That's how the first goal went in against Honduras. That's how he's had a couple brilliant moments there. But he's a young kid. He's gonna improve, and he's gonna learn from this, and he's just gonna improve.
Yeah, that's true.
So
he needs to that's just one criticism I have from that from the whole honestly probably the window is that Buchanan doesn't cross or shoot enough.
Yep, but that's something I guarantee Herdman mentioned, and that's something that they're going to work on. And the next window,
Buchanan, also again on Buchanan, sounds like I'm ripping on him, but I'm not. It's just little criticisms. He needs to be a lot more mature in his own box. Yes. Oh yeah. That even though the ref was really bad, that was the worst. One of the worst tackles Canada had all window. He didn't go shoulder to shoulder. He went hip to hip. And then his shoulder through the back. In the first game too. The reason Honduras scored the game scored the goal in the very first game of the qualifiers, not this window with qualifiers, because Buchanan wasn't mature enough in his box.
It's not just in his box. He's just not mature enough. He just let the anger get to his head.
Especially in his box.
El Salvador, they just came off of they had 4 tackles. El Salvador in the first half alone. That should have been red cards.
Oh yeah.
All cleat up. That's all El Salvador did. And guaranteed Buchanan was livid over it, because Buchanan and Larrea are hotheads, man.
They are. Those two need to calm down.
And I agree. I don't disagree.
Sometimes we do need their hotheads, but they do need to calm down a lot.
I love their passion. They just need to be able to control that passion. Because, yeah, El Salvador was filthy. Just absolutely filthy the way that they played. But we're done with them now. Panama's going to be even worse. But that's the last game of the window of the entire World Cup qualifying campaign.
Hopefully by then we can just play our D team.
Honestly, I think at that point, like by that point, we should, if we beat Jamaica.
If we beat Jamaica, we're in.
Well, no, if we beat Jamaica, we're first. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't think Herdman cares about being first, second, or third, just that he is one of the three.
No, Herdman has said he wants to go this entire window undefeated. That's a goal that they've had.
That's fair. I'm saying if we can beat Jamaica, then we're first. And then by the time we play Panama, I don't think, honestly, anybody who's going to go to the World Cup starts that game.
Probably. You want to see who you have who your substitutes are going to be. But anyways, I mean, I think that's everything for this All About Footy episode. Hey, like Canada got 9 out of 9 points. They are first still. They've gotten an even deeper lead in the standings now because of these results. And they're 4 points up on both Mexico and the United States for first place. And they're 8 points up on Costa Rica and Panama for fourth, I think.
There's something like that. I think there's 7 points up on Panama, 8 on Costa Rica.
Yeah, I think it's 8 and 9. Whatever it is. All I know is that they're dominating. It is they're dominating. They're doing so good. They're
just doing really good. That's all that matters.
They're 3 points away from qualification.
Yeah.
I did the math. It was 8 points from automatic qualification, which means the difference between first and fourth was 8 points at the last window. So, if they got 12 points, Canada just needed 8 points to make it. Right? So then Canada's win, 5 points.
They're 8 points up on Panama.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So then
9 on Costa Rica.
There you go. So Costa Rica has to win every game next window just to tie with Canada. And then goal differential, and Canada would have to lose every game. Yeah, listen, I'm very superstitious. I'm not going to jinx it, but the odds are ever in our favor. It's a 99.99999% chance now that we're in. We just haven't confirmed it yet. But anyways, that is all for the episode today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to have another All About Footy episode previewing the next window. And the next, hopefully, the All About Footy after that, we'll be talking about Canada qualifying for the World Cup and then talking about our potential roster. That'll be pretty exciting to talk about. So tune in later on, or tune in next week, I guess, for our episode number 18 of the Can Ask podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and see you next week.